Welcome everyone. My name is Andrew and thanks for joining us here today. We're going to play a quick video to get started while you guys get comfortable and settle in. So here we go.
Everything was so dark and quiet when I left this morning. I was sure I was the only one up. I wasn't, of course. There's a whole world of people out there already well into their day. While we sleep, they're hitting the road, getting ready to roll up their sleeves and create a better tomorrow. These are the people who protect and nurture the land that sustains us. Our guides in life's important moments, whose expertise we trust when we need it most. They're by our side as we navigate the big decisions, sharing their knowledge and inspiring us to become the best we can be. They're the people who understand the impact of the actions we take each day. They know that to create real change, we need to do this together. The ones who genuinely care for us and keep an eye out for the vulnerable. Under their watch, the next generation can grow proud and strong. And our resources are secured so that communities thrive in a healthy environment. These are the people working hard with resilience and drive so that tomorrow is a new day, a better day. You might not always see them on the news, but the world would certainly miss them if they weren't here. They're people just like you, the people who put in what it takes every day to create a world worth living in.
Okay, so just give me a second here while I just bring up the right slide for you guys. Won't be a second. Okay, so thanks everyone for coming to our Year 10 subject selection evening tonight. My name is Andrew Connell and I'm the marketing coordinator at the Wagga Wagga campus, and I'll be the moderator for this session tonight. Our Charles Sturt University team members are also here with us tonight as well to help answer any questions throughout the session via our chat box. Our team members will be monitoring the chat box and you're able to reply to any questions that may go into that chat box. So feel free to ask away for any questions you may have. These could be anything regarding our courses, support services available, campus-specific questions or general questions if you like. We just don't want you guys to go away with any unanswered questions, so we'll try our best to answer all your questions tonight. Tonight's session is a great opportunity for you to get some tips about preparing for Year 11 and 12 with regards to subject selection, and to also give you a sneak peek for what sort of things to start considering if you're thinking about going to university. So there's a couple of things I just want to let you guys know about first tonight. Firstly, this session is being recorded, and secondly, we also want to know about you guys as well. So we will be launching some polls throughout the evening that you guys have the time to answer some questions. I think one's gone up just now. So you'll see there's one on there at the moment, how many people are here tonight. So feel free to answer that as we go along. Secondly, so we want you guys to get involved with all that with the polls. And just before I go into the formal proceedings, I just want to do a quick welcome to country. Maybe a second. Oops. Okay, so we pay our respect to all First Nation elders, both past and present, from the lands where Charles Sturt University students reside. In particular, we acknowledge the Wiradjuri, Ngunnawal, Gundungurra, and Biripi peoples of Australia, who are the traditional custodians of the lands where our campuses are located. now like to introduce Tommy from our Future Moves team, who will go through some information regarding what if I don't know what I want to choose. So he'll go through all that information. So I might hand over to Tommy.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Yeah, it's really lovely to be here tonight talking with all you young people. So my name's Tommy and I work for Future Moves at Charles Sturt University. And what we do is we go all the way across New South Wales and a little bit into Victoria, talking to young people about their goals and their hopes and their dreams and what they want to do after school. And I'm on Wiradjuri land here in Bathurst, but I've got some colleagues here with me to answer some questions. And so can you guys introduce yourselves? We might go to Port Macquarie.
Sure, I'm in Port Macquarie. I'm on Biripi land and my name is Rachel and I'm also part of the Future Moves team as a school outreach officer. It's really nice to be here with you all tonight.
Hello everyone, my name is Jordan. I'm based in Wagga Wagga, so I'm also on Wiradjuri land with Tommy and I can't wait to talk to you guys in a little bit.
Fantastic. So we're just going to get started with another poll. I'm going to, if we can get the next poll launched, I just want to get an understanding of where you guys are at in regards to subject selection. So I'll just give you a little second to let us know where you're at. Fantastic. It's great to see a really diverse spread of people in here. Some people that really know exactly what they want to do. Some people that are still deciding. It's really great. Okay. So we do a lot of subject selection events with schools. And there are certainly some questions that we hear again and again and again. So what we were going to do is talk about our frequently asked questions and just unpack them a little bit for you. It's great to see so many people. Yeah, okay, fantastic. So the first question that I hear a lot is, what if I don't know what subjects to choose? And it's great to see that a lot of you do know what subjects that you want to choose. We've got a lot of people that know which direction that they want to go, but might be still deciding a few of their last subjects. So that's really great. Because it's a chance to be selfish, really. It's the first stage in your schooling career where you can really focus on what you're passionate about and what you love, and kind of trim away those things that you don't want to focus on as much anymore. And that's a really fun place to be. You're setting up where you want to go and what you want to do, which is really lovely. And if you do, my advice is to focus on those subjects that you are passionate about, because you're going to be more curious. You're going to work harder in those subjects, and that'll pay off at exam time. When I was choosing my subjects, which is a while ago now, but I really preferred creative subjects. I loved performing. I loved drama and music. I loved modern history. So I chose all those subjects, but I also chose physics. And because my friends were doing it, and my dad works in physics, so I thought it was the right thing to do. And I hated it. It was it took up so much space in my brain of dreading it, where I could have been focusing on those things that I enjoyed. Now I talked to my careers advisors and my teachers, and I managed to drop physics and focus on those subjects that I really enjoyed. And after I did my HSC, I was able to get into uni and use those things that I love. And I've never been out of work. I've worked overseas. I've owned my own business. And now I really get to do what I really enjoy, which is talking with young people and helping them reach their dreams. So yeah, that's my biggest advice is follow those things that you're passionate about, and you'll go far. So What about another question that you see a lot of, Rachel?
Yeah, so another question we get asked is, what if I don't like what I've chosen? So I sort of broke this down into 2 points, 2 stages. The before you choose, so the stage that you're all at now, and the during, when you're actually doing those subjects. So the before you choose, the stage you're in now, give yourself the chance to make the most informed choice you can before you make the selections. And you're doing it right now by being here. Chat to your teachers, talk about it with your career advisor and your year advisors. Your teachers really know you and they understand your capabilities and your strengths. So discuss your thoughts with your families as well, and make sure you, as Tommy said, align your interests and passions with the subjects that you choose. If you do know what you want to do after school, try and align some of those subjects that relate to that course that you might study and the career area that you're interested in too. Okay, so you've made the selections, you're on your journey and you're doing those subjects. There is some flexibility with changing your mind. You'll have to chat to your career advisor about the process for doing this. If you are going for an ATAR, you will need to make sure that you choose ATAR specific subjects. So again, talk to your careers advisor about this. In year 11, I was doing the standard 12 units, so 6 subjects, and I was feeling pretty overwhelmed. My workload included major works for drama, for music. I had extra rehearsals, I had logbooks, I was sourcing equipment. So I chose at the end of year 11 to drop down 1 subject. This means I still had my 10 units of ATAR subjects. The pros, well, it allowed me to manage my workload more effectively. The cons, well, it meant that I didn't have a backup subject in case I didn't perform as well in one subject. However, I was doing subjects that I really enjoyed, just like Tommy said, which motivated me to work really hard. And as a result, I did really well. So my final tip on this point is, if you're feeling unsure or overwhelmed throughout the journey of year 11 and 12, always talk to your teachers and your families, ask questions, ask for advice, be curious, and always know that you have options. So I might now hand over to Jordan. There is a 3rd question that we usually get asked.
Thanks, Rach. So it doesn't matter who we talk to and what year they're in, there's always students that are really worried about what if they don't know what they want to do when they leave school. So as far as that goes with subject selection, it's totally okay to not know what you want to do when you leave school. You can see by that poll there, just with choosing subjects, the vast majority of you aren't sure exactly what subjects you want to choose at this stage. And that's totally okay as well. So if you're not sure about what subjects you're choosing, chances are you're not sure about exactly what you might want to do after school. If you really have no idea, the big thing with choosing subjects is to choose subjects that you're interested in. Something that you might have a bit of a passion for, something that you think you might go really well at as well. So if you're really good at maths, that the chances are that is that you enjoy maths and that you might go really well at that as well. And also keep in mind that there's no rush to do anything straight after school. Okay, so that's why it's okay to not know exactly what you want to do. I'm actually enrolled in a course at the moment to become a primary school teacher. I didn't know that I wanted to do that until I was about 21. So there was a few years in between leaving school and starting that course. And I don't have any regrets. I mean, I'm glad that I took that time to really understand what I wanted to do and really focus on that, rather than jump into something that maybe I might regret. Some people are lucky; they know exactly what they want to do, but the majority of people don't, and that's okay. So don't feel like you're the only one, and don't feel like there's any pressure to jump into anything straight after school. There are lots of options when you do finish school. You can take a gap year, travel. That might have to wait a little while with everything that's going on at the moment. But you can also do things like an apprenticeship, a traineeship. You can go and get a full-time job, all these sorts of things. And if you do decide to go to university after that, then everybody at any age can come to university. There's lots of students that come to university that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s. So there's no rush to do anything like that. Over the last few days, the Future Moves team were lucky enough to be involved with a virtual work experience event. Some of you may have attended that, I'm not sure. It was really, really great. And there was about 30 to 35 different industry experts from all different walks of life and different employment fields. And so many of those people had absolutely no idea that they would end up in the career or the industry that they're in. So that goes to show as well, on the other end, most people are really surprised or unaware that they would end up in that job. So that's just something to take into account as well. From here, where do you start? Well, you've already taken the first step, like Rachel said, you're in an event like this, okay? So something like this, try and get involved as much as you can with things like this. Ask lots of questions with your careers advisors, teachers, parents, even your friends. And even another thing on friends, as great as it is to be in the same class as your friends, try not to just choose subjects that your friends are choosing as well. Because, you know, if all your friends wanted to be teachers, you're not necessarily going to go and want to be a teacher just to be with your friends. So try and think about it like that with your subject selection as well. But that's about it on that. Just to close off, just make sure that you do always have lots of options. Okay, there's no pressure and there's no rush to go into anything that you're not really sure about. And make sure you ask lots and lots of questions. Be really curious. Take risks. If there's a subject that you're really interested in, but you've never done anything like that before, jump in and have a go. Because if you do have that passion and that interest for it, chances are you'll do really well in it. So that's it from me. Now I think, Andrew, we're going to talk a little bit more about some pathways and different options that Charles Sturt offer.
Exactly, yeah. So thanks for that, guys. I'm just going to share my screen here for you all again. Won't be a minute. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen there now. So I guess one of the big questions we generally get asked from prospective students in general is, why study at Charles Sturt University? So it's actually a really good question. One of our main reasons why a lot of people do tend to come and study with us is you may not be aware that we're actually #1 for graduates who get jobs. So more Charles Sturt University graduates get jobs faster than any other graduate from any other university in Australia, which is something we're pretty proud of here at Charles Sturt University. We also have some of the highest starting salaries in Australia for our graduates. So our graduates generally start on around 67,000 straight out of university, which is amazing. And obviously the more experience they get, that jumps up from there. Another thing just a lot of students are pretty proud of here at Charles Sturt University is we're really lucky where we get to upgrade we do upgrade our facilities all the time. So using the latest state-of-the-art facilities and equipment across all our courses, which is really amazing. So say, for example, you might be interested in, say, TV production. We've got an awesome TV studio on campus that you get to use from day one if you're interested in TV, which is amazing. So that's some of the reasons why people do choose to come to Charles Sturt University. Let's move across the slide here. So I guess the next thing I've got here is it's not what we say that makes a difference, it's what we do. So at Charles Sturt University, we're all about doing hands-on work. So if you're studying with us as part of your course, you'll be able to do heaps and heaps of hands-on work as part of your course in those facilities I was just kind of mentioning before. So for example, if you're doing, say, nursing with us, you'll find that we've got some awesome nursing labs that you get to work in. Included in these labs, you'll find we've got these, they're around like $80,000 mannequins, which are really cool. They move and they scream, they go into cardiac arrest, and you got to try and save them when you're working on them. So you start off on them first, and we teach you how to do everything in nursing. From there, we also do send you guys out to do work experience or work placement, we call it, in the different course areas. So if you are doing nursing, we send you guys out to real hospitals and you learn off real nurses there in the hospitals and you get to see what's happening there as well, which is pretty cool. Another example there, if you're doing, say, journalism, we do a lot of work placement. For example, our journalists at the moment go out to Channel 9 in Sydney and Channel 7 and also Fox Sports, and they do a lot of work placement at those sort of places too. So they get to meet people in the industry as well, which gives them those connections that they need when they're going through and learning all about that course. So if you love doing hands-on work, you're going to love it with our courses. I guess getting ready for year 12. So you guys are starting to prepare at the moment for subject selection, which is an important part of going into year 11 and 12. One thing to be aware of, I guess, is you'll hear a little bit about assumed knowledge and prerequisites, which I'll go into shortly in a bit more detail. And you'll also hear a lot about the ATAR. So just so you know what that is, that stands for the Australian Tertiary Admission Rank. So it's actually a rank basically by the state, comparing you across the whole state, ranking you against all the other students who are studying. And then you also will go into a little bit about admission pathways and how that all works and what type of pathways we have here at Charles Sturt University. So prerequisites and assumed knowledge. So I guess with prerequisites, the main thing to be aware of what that actually is some universities will say, okay, to get into our course, you need to have done a certain subject in year 11 and 12. That's not the case with Charles Sturt University. At Charles Sturt University, we don't actually have any prerequisites, which is across all our courses, which is amazing. So what happens there is we have assumed knowledge. So we assume that you've done or that you know a little bit about certain subject areas, such as if you're doing ongoing science, we assume that you know some basics on science, for example, but you don't have to have done certain science subjects in year 11 and 12. So you don't have to have done, say, chemistry or physics or biology to get into our courses. The main thing we're looking at is your ATAR results. So as long as you get that ATAR for that particular course, that will help you get into that particular course from there. Sorry, a minute. Okay, so the other thing there too is we have a whole range of different pathways to get you into different courses at Charles Sturt University. So that can be anything from transferring between courses. Once you do get into a course, you might say, you know what, I'm actually, I might be doing a certain course and go, you know what, I actually want to change course and do something else. Generally between most of our courses, you can generally transfer between courses. There is also a program we've got called the Diploma General Studies, which I'll talk about in just a minute. And also the Charles Sturt Pathway is another program we have. Plus, if you're doing any TAFE courses, that will also help you towards getting into our courses here at Charles Sturt. So generally, if you've done a Cert 3 or Cert 4, or even a diploma, that can help you get into our courses, but you may also get subject credit once you do get in there as well. So it may take some time off your degree, which is really awesome. And we also have a program called Single Subject Study. So what that is you might decide, okay, I'm ready to go into a course, but I don't know if I want to do a whole course yet. I just want to pick certain subjects. You have the options where you can pick up called Single Subject Study, and you can pick and choose certain subjects that you'd like to do before you start a course. So generally, if you've done 2 single subject study subjects, that will generally get you into most of our courses as well. And we also have a program called StudyLink. So StudyLink is basically a really good opportunity for you guys, especially if you're moving into 11 and 12. You can also pick up StudyLink subjects, which I'll go into in just a minute. So first of all, I'll touch on our Diploma in General Studies course. So this is a really good pathway if, say, you don't get an ATAR to get into the course you want to get into, or if you miss that ATAR you need to get into a certain course, I'd strongly recommend considering our Diploma of General Studies. So this course is 1 year full-time study on campus, and you can actually, as you can see here, you can choose between 5 of our different campuses to study this particular course, which is really good. So what will actually happen is when you finish this course, it generally takes about a year, you'll get a diploma, an official diploma in general studies. So it's going to look really good on your resume, but also that helps you get guaranteed entry into a whole range of our courses. So you might go, okay, I missed out on the ATAR to get into, say, a Bachelor of Science. By doing this Diploma of General Studies, that will get you guaranteed entry into a Bachelor of Science, for example. So definitely keep this in mind. To get into our Diploma of General Studies, you generally just need to have completed year 12, and that will generally get you in, which is great. So the other thing here with this Diploma of General Studies is the subject costs, if you want to, you can put onto HEX and pay that back later. So just so you know quickly what HEX is, that stands for Higher Education Contribution Scheme. And that's actually probably one of the best loans you're going to get from the government, where you can actually defer your subject costs and pay them back later once you start working full-time after you finish your degree. The other big advantage of the Diploma of General Studies is you'll also, if you do get into a certain course, you also may get some subject credit there as well, which is really handy. So what subject credit means is basically if you've done a certain subject in this particular Diploma of General Studies, if it crosses over with the course you want to get into, you won't have to do it again, and you'll be what they call subject credit or RPL, which means it's basically credit to you, so you don't need to do it again, which is great. And there's also a little link here you can see there, study.csu.edu/pathways, and it'll tell you all about our Diploma of General Studies course. Okay, now StudyLink. So StudyLink is a really awesome opportunity for you guys. So what StudyLink is, whoops, just raced ahead there. So what StudyLink is that allows you to select little subjects on the side, either before you start studying at Charles Sturt University, or you can do them while you're studying at Charles Sturt University on the side of your other subjects. So they're kind of like refresher subjects to bring you up to speed where you should be in that particular course. So say, for example, you might go into a science course and you might say, okay, I didn't do chemistry or biology in year 11 and 12. So I'd strongly recommend, if that was the case, that you do a StudyLink subject in, say, chemistry or biology. And what that does is they're little online modules that you generally do. And you usually have around 6 months to do them. And some people knock them over pretty quickly, depending on how much time you have. And once you finish that, it's just a refresher to bring you up to speed where you should be in that particular course. I guess the advantage there as well is some of those modules you'll be able to do in weekend workshops as well, which is pretty handy, but they all are done online. So you can still do it in your own time there, which is really good. And you also get your own lecturer as well, or teacher, that you can have to help you through that particular subject. So I guess one thing to let you know about that is, as long as you're an Australian citizen, they're actually free to do, which is really good. And it's not a bad idea to even pick them up and start doing them once you're in say year 12, for example, or even the end of year 11. And that's a good way to kind of get a head start on certain areas before you get it into university. So definitely recommend doing that. And as you can see there, one of the last dot points there is it'll also help your confidence to succeed in that particular course area. So, which is great. Okay, so I'm just going to hand over to Tanea. Tanea will be able to talk about the Indigenous Access program.
Hi everyone, my name is Tanea Kelly. I'm the Indigenous Access Officer with Charles Sturt. I'm just going to have a little talk to you about the Indigenous Access program. So it's another pathway into university, and it's a 5-day entry program that prepares you for study with CSU. It's open to school leavers and mature age students, and it's 5 days of testing and assessing to see where you're at with uni. And on the completion of the IAP, you are then offered a spot in your course of choice. So it's open to a range of different courses. We cover you to attend the program, and we will house you on the campus for that week. Yeah, and I'm happy to speak further with you after this if anybody is interested. So I'll just hand it back to Andrew now.
Thanks very much, Tanea. That's great. So that's a really good program to definitely consider. And yeah, if you do have some questions, we'll be able to answer those towards the end of the session here. I'll just flick over to the next slide here. So, okay, we also have a program called Elite Athlete Program. So this is a really good program if you are quite an elite athlete. So I'm a little bit jealous if you are, but basically just means that if you can represent at state or national level, you could be eligible for our Elite Athlete Program. So what this is when you get to year 12 and you go to apply to university, you can jump onto our link there, athletes.csu.edu.au/elite-athlete-program, and there'll be a form on there that you can actually complete. And if you fill that form in, we'll just take in consideration when you do apply that you may have missed a certain amount of schooling to help you to getting into your course. So we'll take that in consideration that you may have missed a fair bit due to your sporting commitments. The other thing is once you do get into this course, we will help you with your with different study plans to help work around your sporting commitments, which is really good. So if you are an elite athlete and you're doing really well in your course or whatever sport you're looking to get into, make sure you do apply for this as well. And yeah, it's a great opportunity while you're there. And also, as you can see here, you may get subsidised on-campus accommodation if you're in that as well. And yeah, it's just a great little program available to help you through it. Okay, I just want to let you guys know as well about our early entry program. So this is called Charles Sturt Advantage Early Offer Program. So this is more for when you do get into year 12, but just let you know about it so you can start preparing for it. So our Charles Sturt Early Entry Offer Program, basically it looks at what we call soft skills. So that's a big thing that employers want to see these days from different graduates when they come out of their degrees. So what we're looking for here is how you do communicate, but also how you, I guess, help out in the community, and if you're doing kind of volunteering and things like that as well. So this will open in, opens once you guys get to year 12, you can apply for this. So definitely keep this in mind. So what is the actual program? So you apply to this in year 12 and there'll be 3 questions we'll ask you. There'll be some questions regarding resilience, empathy and motivation to creating a world worth living in. So basically you'll have 3 questions there you get to answer, usually around about 150 words for each question. From there you submit that to us and hopefully we'll come back to you guys with a conditional offer, usually in September, so before your year 12 exams start. So the condition normally is as long as you get above a certain ATAR, which is normally lower than the normal ATAR for different courses, that could get you guaranteed entry. So I guess it's just another option to keep in mind. And we do also have a support program as part of the Charles Sturt Advantage program. So once you do get a conditional offer, or hopefully you do, we'll be able to give you some advice and tips and things, and you can come to different programs that we run throughout that year as well to help you settle into university before you actually get there, which is great. So how to apply to that? So as I mentioned before, all it is once you get to year 12, you'll jump online to our website, answer 3 questions regarding those soft skills, and from there we'll assess that. You also need to provide a referee when you do apply, and from there you apply also to UAC, which I won't go into much detail about UAC just at the moment. But just so you can see here, the applications are open for this year's students. They open on the 1st of June and they close on the 31st of August. So it's generally similar sort of dates for the time you guys come through. It should be pretty similar, I'd say. But if you do want to know more about that, there is a little link there you can go to, csu.edu.au/advantage. Okay, so here are some of the courses that we offer at Charles Sturt University. So you may be thinking at this stage you may not know what you want to do, or you may have a bit of an idea, but I strongly recommend jumping on our website even now, especially if you're in year 10, have a look at some of the courses that we offer and just see if you might be interested in some of them. You might have an idea what you think some of them do, but definitely jump on and have a look at our website, and it might actually explain more about that particular course and give you more of an idea of where you want to go once you do finish school. So definitely recommend looking at that. Just to give you an idea, all our courses offer or have some amazing facilities. So as I was mentioning earlier about our facilities, but for example, with our agriculture course at the Wagga campus, we've got a 1,400 hectare farm on campus that students use from day one. There's also cattle, sheep and horses on campus there. So from day one, they're dealing with all the livestock. And they also have some amazing greenhouses that students get to use as well. So in those greenhouses, if you're doing agriculture, you can actually learn how to, push temperatures up and down for different crops and things you may have in there. And you can work out how to help, grow crops better in different climates, which is really good. And plus, they also have a state-of-the-art science building. I believe it's around about $50 million building with all the state-of-the-art equipment. So some of the equipment they get to use is worth over $500,000, which is awesome. So that's just an example there of our agriculture course. But as you can see, there's a whole range of courses to pick from. Another quick example there is part of our allied health, we also have a course there in paramedicine. Our paramedicine course has paramedic clinics on campus, different simulation clinics, which gives you some different scenarios that you guys would face as a paramedic, which is pretty cool to help prepare you before you actually go out and do your work placements and things, which is really cool. So as I said, definitely jump on, have a look at our website, have a bit of a read, and see what you're thinking. We'll go from there. Okay, so I guess in being in year 10, you're kind of still trying to work out where your passions may lie. I guess the big thing is to talk to friends and family especially. So talk to them. They generally know you best. So they might be able to give you some ideas of what you might be good at. Sometimes you may not realize what you might be good at, what your talents are. But if you talk to your friends, talk to your family, they'll be able to give you some tips of, potentially give you some tips of where you might want to look at career-wise as well. I guess the other thing too is to think outside the box a little here. So try to focus on the jobs rather than a course. So that way you can work out what job you want to get into. You can then backtrack a little bit and go, okay, how am I going to get that job? I need to have this particular qualification or this type of training to get that job. And from there, you can kind of work out a bit of a stepping path of what sort of course you may need to do to get into that career. I guess the other big thing I strongly recommend doing is talking to also careers advisors at your schools. They are an awesome tool to have available. So definitely go and talk to them. They've got a heap of knowledge there and they may be able to put you on the right track of what career might be good for you. And also, if you do find an area that you might be interested in, talk to people from those career areas if you can. And they'll hopefully be able to give you some advice as to what it's actually like in that particular career. You might have an idea what you think it might be like. If you can talk to someone from the industry, they'll be able to give you a really good understanding of what it actually really is like in that field, and also how they actually got that particular job in that career. What do they need to do? What degree or training did they need to do to get into that field? So really in year 10, it's a really good time to start talking to people, start getting an idea of what you might be interested in. And from there, and also I guess have some backup plans, but also I guess in year 10, a lot of you guys may start doing work experience as well. So I'd really recommend try and do as much work experience as you can in different career areas, because it'll really give you a good understanding of where your passions may lie. So definitely do that. I guess one last thing on this little area is we also have a program called Explore Day, which is aimed at year 10, 11 and 12 students. And I strongly recommend you guys do this hopefully as of next year, we have them up and running again. Now, Explore Day is a great day to kind of come and see what's going to be like as a student at university for a day. So you guys can come out, we'll take you into different course areas. So you can pick a course area you might be interested in. And you get to go into that course area, use some of the hands-on equipment, talk to the teachers, talk to current students about what it's like. And it's a really good way to find out whether that course is something you want to pursue down the track. If you come away from that day going, you know what, that's not the course I really wanted to get into, that's still okay. You can still got time to go, right, maybe there's another course I need to look at. And jump on our site again, talk to our advisors on the campus, and we might be able to advise on different areas of other courses that you may be interested in as well. So definitely recommend come to our Explore Days, but also we have open days that run throughout the year as well. So I'll go into them shortly in a bit more detail as well. Okay, so subject selection. So this is, I guess, an important thing for year 10 at the moment. As we go through, I guess, school and university, you guys be able to focus on subjects and areas of study which you, I guess, enjoy and are more relevant to your goals. So my advice is try to pick subjects that you guys are interested in. So don't necessarily pick a subject because you heard it may scale you better in the ATAR. Try to pick subjects you're actually interested in, because if you're interested in a subject, generally means you may do well in it. So strongly recommend doing that. So in my case, for example, when I was in year 11 and 12, I enjoyed business. So I picked business studies and economics. From there, I worked out, yep, I want to go into a career in business from there. So I looked at business courses at university from there. So definitely try to pick things that you might be interested in. Because as I said, if you're interested in it, it normally means you're going to do well. Okay, that'll be a minute. Okay, so here's a bit of an example here of someone who may do, say, English, for example, or maybe interested in English. So year 11 and 12, they're going to pick, say, English literature, and also English language. They'll do those subjects, and then from there, that also assists them when they go to university. There's a whole range of different courses you could go into if you have got those English, I guess, background there as well. So you can see there's a whole range of things, whether it be screenwriting, journalism. You can even go into like newsroom, TV studios, social and mobile media. So there's a whole range of different fields there. So I guess try to pick, again, subjects you may be interested in. If for some reason you change your mind and you go, you know what, I'm actually interested in a certain course area once you get to year 12, and you may not have done a certain subject in year 11 and 12, that's fine. As I said, the main thing with us is we're looking at that ATAR result. So as long as you can get that ATAR, that will hopefully get you into that course. And then from there, if you do need to, we have the study link options where you can pick up study link on the side to bring up the speed if need be. Okay, so scholarships. So scholarships are basically free money for you guys at university. So I strongly recommend start doing research even from now, from right through to year 12, and start preparing, seeing what scholarships are out there, and try to apply as many as you can once you get to the end of year 12. So, and then once you do, get into a course, or hopefully you do, every single year you're at university, you want to apply different scholarships. So with scholarships at Charles Sturt University, we give away over $3 million in scholarships a year, which is amazing. So there are different types of scholarships out there. So you'll find there are specific course scholarships you can pick from. So if you're doing, say, teaching, there's specific teaching scholarships, or there's specific science scholarships and things like that you can look at. But also there's even scholarships for things like accommodation. If you're living on campus, that can make you eligible for our accommodation scholarships. And there's even things like travel scholarships. So we have an awesome program at Charles Sturt University called CSU Global, which allows you to go overseas and do part of your course and exchange overseas, and we can give you special grants and things to help pay for that. So I guess my biggest tip there is you don't have to be the smartest person in the world to get a scholarship. Apply to as many as you can, and hopefully you'll get at least one, and you may be lucky, you may even get multiple scholarships. So definitely start looking at that now. You can see there I've got a link there to our scholarship page, so definitely jump on there now, have a bit of a look. As there's still a bit of time, so just maybe make a bit of a list of some of the scholarships you may be thinking you might be interested in, and then from there you can start applying to them when you get into year 12. Also talk to your careers advisors again, because they may be able to give you some tips about some other scholarships locally that you may be able to also apply for as well. So definitely, if you don't take anything else away from tonight, make sure you do apply to scholarships when you do get into year 12. Okay, so we've got a few ways that you guys can keep in contact with us throughout the years. So as I mentioned earlier, we do run Explore Days. Now, as I said, Explore Days are aimed at year 10, 11 and 12 students. So unfortunately this year with the COVID-19, we had to cancel our Explore Days, but they'll hopefully be up and running again as of next year. So I strongly recommend coming to our Explore Days across our campuses. Keep an eye on our website early next year, and also talk to your schools. We'll be contacting your schools to let them know when our Explore Days are running. And they are honestly the really best way to find out whether you're going to like it in some of our courses and like it here at university, which I'm sure you will. Throughout the year, there are also different career expos that you guys can attend. So through all our different regions around Charles Sturt University, we attend a whole range of career expos. That's a great way to come up and talk to us at these stands. And we have current students and staff who'll be able to answer all your questions and explain what it's going to be like for you. So definitely come and talk to us at career expos. We also do offer study consultations or study appointments where you can, if you like, you can jump on our website, you can book an appointment with someone like myself, and we can actually organise a face-to-face or a video appointment with you to go through any questions you want to know. So they are free, and it's a great way, again, to be across everything before you start at university. You can also come on campus. So at the moment, our campus tours aren't running at the moment, but hopefully they'll be running in the next couple of months. But campus tours generally run all year round from Monday to Friday, and they are also free. And you can book a campus tour at one of our campuses. Come check it out, see what you think, and we'll get a current student who will take you around and show you all the facilities for the course area you may be interested in. So definitely recommend, if you can, year 11 is a good time to try and do campus tours, because year 12 can get quite busy with everything else going on. So I do recommend from about year 11 or even year 12, definitely try and come and check out our campuses through our campus tours. And finally, we also do run open days as well. So open days are where we open up the university to the community. So you guys are definitely welcome to come to our campuses on those open days. We'll take you in, we'll show you, you get to meet some of our teachers, we'll show you the facilities, you can ask questions, and again, that's another good way to find out whether you're going to like it at some of our campuses as well. So we'll also show you our accommodation options available too. So definitely try and come and be in contact with us, and we'll get you prepared for university through these options. So here's our open days that we're running this year. So we do have on-campus open days running. You can see there, they start at Albury on September the 6th. Then you got Bathurst on September the 27th, Dubbo September 19, Orange September 26th, Port Macquarie on September 20th, and Wagga Wagga on September 13th. So you can definitely attend them. So try to come along to those if you can. We also will be running some virtual open days. So the virtual open days will be running from the 15th to the 17th of September. So if you can't make it to the face-to-face or on-campus ones, definitely come to a virtual open day and we'll try and answer all your questions while you're there as well. And if you do want to check out that, is a link here you can jump on, which is just csu.edu.au/open day. Okay. So again, as I mentioned here earlier about Explore Day, it's definitely targeting you guys. So year 10, 11 and 12, come on campus, check out our sessions. We'll get you involved. As you can see here, looks like it's one of the nursing students here from last year who was actually working on some of the mannequins I was talking about. We'll get you guys doing some hands-on work so you actually see what it's going to be like in that particular course. So can't recommend that enough. Come check it out. We'll show you the accommodation and we'll be able to show you all the different uni courses we offer. Okay, and if you'd like to keep in touch, feel free to take a photo of this slide. This has our Instagram and Facebook pages on here as well, so you can definitely follow us on that, and yeah, we can go from there.
Amazing, thank you so much, Andrew. As the slide says, if there's any questions that want to come through, this is the perfect time to pop them in. Thank you to everyone that has already asked questions and to our team that has given in their written responses there, but we're all here ready to answer anything that you have, so please send those through. I have just got one sent directly to me and it's about the Elite Athlete Program. I know that's often a very popular question, so just with that, remember that it can be potentially elite athletes as well. So if you're on your way to representing Australia, you can apply for that program as well. And also it's for performers as well. So it doesn't just have to be athletes. So I'll just kind of reiterate what we've said in the chat, but please, if you can send anything else that you're wanting to know through, then this is the perfect forum for that. So just a question about if there's some maths unit and you decide later you'd like to study a degree with which requires 2-unit maths, can it be caught up on? So as Andrew said, our courses don't require prerequisites, so you can still get into that course, that's completely fine. And then if you're looking to update your knowledge and you know, have that assumed knowledge and be comfortable in the course, then you can do that study link that Bernadette has linked in there as well. Got a new question about if you do not achieve the desired ATAR but have completed a Certificate 3, will your entry be assessed based on the ATAR or the certificate, even if you are still considered a school leaver? So it depends how you apply with that. Some of the courses will let you in on a Certificate 3 or a Certificate 4, and it just depends about the entry requirements of that course. If you don't have a high enough ATAR, but you do have the certificate, then you can gain entry and vice versa. So, but most school leavers will apply through UAC or VTAC, VTAC just being for the Albury campus. Thank you for that question, Liz, though. Are there many performing arts careers held? So I think this might be to do with our Bachelor of Creative Industries, which a lot of students might study acting or film and TV through there and then go into performing arts careers. And our graduate employment rate is #1. So that definitely takes into account all the creative industry courses as well. And they do a lot of work placement and there's a lot of industry connections within that course. So graduates definitely go on to get careers there. I've just got a question about, are there specific places of CSU offering different courses? Yeah, so there's just an example was that if Wagga offers teaching or Orange nursing. So great question. Different campuses do offer different courses. So for example, nursing might be across all our campuses, but you know, environmental science, which is taught at the Albury campus, is not across some of the others. So it just depends on the facilities that are required for those courses And so you just need to kind of go on the website and have a little look, or if you get one of our course guides as well, you can have a little look in the back and it will say if it's offered at which campus and if it's online and how many years and the ATAR. That's all on the website. And this question to me was just about medicine. So the medicine course is offered at our Orange campus, and that is the first year next year. So that's really great. By the time you guys get around to it, it'll be a few years in and you'll be able to learn from the people in years above you as well. If a student wants to study ag science, they don't need to have chemistry year 11 and 12. So there's no prerequisites. But if they're interested in agricultural science already in year 10 and they really want to do chemistry because they're really interested in that, because that might be involved in the course, then definitely we would recommend doing that, but they don't have to for application. And with that as well, we do have StudyLink. So that's free online portal that students can do before they study with us or while they're studying, and there's a chemistry subject there. I think it's called Introduction to Chemistry, and it's about, I think that one's about 40 hours. Some of our science ones are 40 hours of work, whereas a lot of the other ones, like the Grammar Essentials for essay writing and help with referencing, those ones are only 14 hours. And as Andrew said, you have months to complete those. Thank you for those questions. Some of those have come through privately to me. You can put them privately to myself or Andrew or our team members, and we can all read them out, or you can send them through to everyone. Anything that works. Andrew, have you got any others?
I can see here there's also a question, if you do not achieve the desired ATAR but have completed a Cert 3, would that also help with getting into a course? Yes, it will. So Cert 3 will also help you towards getting into a course, but it may not guarantee you entry. So definitely, hopefully if you have done a Cert 3, definitely apply and to us, and hopefully we'll be able to get you in that way. But worst case scenario, if you don't get in, there is also those other pathway options. So for example, there's a diploma general studies you can do, or we also have a Charles Sturt pathway program it's called, and that's another option which you can do online, which takes about 6 months, and that could potentially get you into some of our courses as well.
Beautiful. And just while we have a moment, I've just seen a few more questions come through to me privately, but I'll get to those. If there's any extra information and some more career ideas, and like we've got this guide, it's called a Year 10 guide, and we'll release it to you in an email coming out in a few days. And I would really recommend looking into that because it's quite interactive and it has some really good information that can be useful as well.
And just quickly there, sorry, I can just see there's another question come through saying, what ATAR score do I need to achieve to get into Charles Sturt University? That will vary depending on the course you want to get into. So if you jump on our website, click on the course you're interested in, it'll actually have the ATAR or minimum ATAR requirement that you need to get into that particular course.
Yeah, beautiful. And then just one about, do you have to go to uni to be in real estate? You know, there's courses that can be helpful for that, but I'm not quite sure about all the particulars and the requirements for real estate. So I would recommend chatting to people. As we said before, it's really great to ask around before you decide on a specific career and ask about all the different requirements for that. And you can find that out online as well.
And just quickly, I've just had a message come through from Kaylee. What ATAR do you need to get into to psychology? For psychology, there's actually 2 courses you can pick from. One's called a Bachelor of Psychology, which is a 4-year course, and that one's a minimum of 75 ATAR. But then there's also another course you can also select called the Bachelor of Social Science Psychology. So that one, I believe, is a minimum 65 ATAR, and that's a 3-year course. So 2 courses there to pick from, and hopefully that helps you there with that too.
Great. Thank you for the questions coming through. Just with the ATAR for physiotherapy, off the top of my head, I think that one is an 80 ATAR, but there's also other options to get into that course as well. So as we said, that's included in the Charles Sturt Advantage Early Offer program, but there's also, those pathways that Andrew's spoken about, and also Bachelor of General Science. Some students might use that to move across. So you can go into different courses in different ways, starting in a Bachelor of General Science, or some students might start in a Bachelor of Podiatry, or health and rehab science. Those can be great to go into courses like Bachelor of Physio. And also, I don't know if we've covered regional adjustment factors. Andrew, have we mentioned that yet?
No, I don't think we did. So
okay,
that's an important one to know. Yeah. So if you guys are from a regional area and you do apply to any Charles Sturt University course, what will actually happen there is we'll see that you're going to school in a regional area, and we'll automatically put an extra 5 adjustment factors on top of your ATAR score. So say you, for example, may get a 80 ATAR, for example. We'll see it as 85 when you actually do apply, which is really good. So that 5 extra marks could be the difference between you getting in and somebody else. So it does make a big difference. When you do get your ATAR later in the end of year 12, you'll see the normal ATAR that you've got, but we'll see it as 5 marks higher, which is really handy.
Definitely. The regional adjustment factor, it applies to all the courses as well, except for the medicine that has a separate already outlined ATAR that is just for regional students. Beautiful. So we've got a few minutes to go, so we'll finish up the questions soon. If you've got any last ones, please send them through. Just a question about the ATAR, and I would recommend that you head onto our website and you'll be able to see the ATAR scores for that, and just in case if they move at all in the next few years as well. But if you have extra questions that come to you, and that could be, next week, or it could be anytime in the next few years, please do book in a study consultation with myself or Andrew or members of our team. You can do this over the phone, you can come onto campus when we're allowed to, or we've been doing virtual study consults as well recently. So that's a really great opportunity to get some personalised advice there. And then look out for the email with our Year 10 guide that we've made just for you, and everything else is on our website, because that's the great source of truth there as well. So I think we'll wrap it up. There hasn't been any extra questions come through. Andrew, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I can just quickly answer a question here for Adelaide. She's got, does regional adjustment factors apply to vet science? Yes, they do. So just to confirm that they do, which is, if you're from a regional area, that is.
Great. Okay. And yeah, as I said, there's plenty of opportunities to get in touch with us if you have any more questions that come through. So we'll wrap that up there. Thank you everyone so much for coming. Thank you to our Future Moves team that presented earlier, and of course to Andrew, who presented all that as well.